Okay, fair warning. The two things that I am going to talk about in today's video is probably going to be a bit triggering, okay? This is not, like, if you're the type of guy who you get easily offended and you get easily pissed off, like, these two things are probably going to make you mad, okay? Here's the fact. For the past 3 years on this YouTube channel, I have been talking about two types of people. I've been talking about what the 99% do and what you have to do if you want to be a full stack 1%er. Okay, 1%ers live differently, they think differently, and they actually operate their life in a way that serves them. Okay, let's start off by saying that this video probably will piss you off because chances are you do these two things. And I'm not talking you just do one of them. Chances are you probably do both of them. The reason why I can tell you these things and the reason why I can actually have something to show for myself to give you real life point of reference is through the work that I've done. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Casey Zander. Okay, I've been in this space now for multiple years. I've helped thousands and thousands of men. And as this channel is nearing 300,000 subscribers, okay, I can truly help you reap the fruits of your own labor if you do the things in this video that I'm about to describe. So with that said, the things that I'm noticing now as I'm entering into my peak years, right, 26 through 35 and 40 on up, the things that I've noticed that has made me who I am, that transformed my body, okay, and built a physique, the things that I've noticed that made me a cash millionaire by the age of 25, and the things that I have done in order to grow this channel to providing a level of service to men in a way that most can't, has came from laser locked focus. The two things that I'm going to describe in this video today, like I said, you probably actually do, and you need to stop doing them. So without me rambling too much here, let's dive in. The very first thing that will make you a beta, if you continue to do it, is watching spectator sports, okay? I need you to think about this. Now, this one alone, I know that this triggers people. Like, this gets you mad, probably. You probably even get offended at me even saying it, and that's how laughable it is because you're such a diehard Red Sox fan or a diehard Oakland Raiders fan, and that is the exact reason that you're emotionally invested in a television screen and you're not actually emotionally invested in chasing excellence to the level that you need to. I'm going to make something extremely clear, okay? Number one, a television, okay? Not only does a television cost you money, okay, but it's not necessarily what it costs you, it's about what it gives you in exchange for your investment. So what happens once you buy the TV? Well, once you buy the TV, here's what you have to do. Not only do you have to mount it, you have to get it working, but then you have to actually sit there, and in order to use the damn thing, you have to waste your time, okay? This is the first thing. You have to understand that if you want to actually achieve excellence or achieve financial success or get somewhere in life, the only thing that you have is time. And if you're one of these guys that wants to maximize your attractiveness, you want to level up on the S3 actual playing field, you want to maximize your options so that way you can leverage hypergamy instead of fall victim to it like 99% of guys, all you have is your time, which means where you put your time is going to dictate the type of results that you get not only in life, but ultimately with women. So to make something of yourself, or to achieve the level that you want to achieve with your actual God-given potential, the only way to do this is by maximizing your time. If you have to get the TV and then you have to hang the TV and then you have to watch the TV and then you have to hope that you have fun doing it, you have to look at the opportunity cost of what it actually just costed you. And what it costed you is your time of where you could have been putting yourself in other places. That's number one. Number two, we have to talk about watching other guys pursue their craft and are probably multimillionaires and you being the spectator. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. The chick that you're with sitting on the television or the chick that you're with sitting there watching TV, okay, regardless if you want to believe this or not, if push came to shove, and that woman had the opportunity to be with the hockey player on television or the opportunity to grab the football star, she would leave your ass in a heartbeat. That's just the cold hard fact. You sitting there, not making yourself useful, right? Showing you have this abundance of free time, showing that you're actually entertained by other dudes who are making millions when you could actually be doing something that's far more productive in the long run will be a biggest turnoff. And it doesn't matter if she wears the sports jerseys with you. It doesn't matter if she acts like she's rah-rah cheerful. In the back of her brain, She knows that if she had the opportunity to get one of those guys, she would. Which means I advise you to become the star of your own life, to actually chase excellence to the level that Tom Brady did when you watch him on television, that Michael Phelps did to the level when you watch him on television, that DiCaprio did when it came down to pursuing the acting career. Actually make yourself the person that you want to be. Okay? This goes one step deeper. Here's what I found. Alpha males have an IDGAF mentality. That means I don't care. Okay? That means if a chick's giving you trouble, well, you can say the door's right there and you can get on with your life. I don't care. You remain emotionally detached. Okay? That's one of the strengths of a pure alpha. Okay? If you look at the opposite side of this, guys get emotionally invested in the outcomes of these games. Not to mention they got some other dude's name on the back of their shirt, and nothing screams I'm a bigger fanboy than that. But you got to understand, when you're drinking beer, shouting at the TV, cursing at the TV, making yourself look foolish, you're literally emotionally vested in other people who don't even know your name. And you're invested to the degree where you're upset maybe for a week or two. Not to mention the Cheetos and the beer that you're sitting there drinking and eating as you're just losing value by the minute. That's number one, okay? You can tell I'm extremely passionate about that because this is something that I stopped doing once I saw how this actually works out in the real world. I stopped watching all sports by age 16. I was like, this doesn't interest me. What interests me is I need fat stacks of cash. I need to actually learn how to influence people in a positive way, and I need to provide something to the world that is of value. That's the only way I can make myself a man of value, is by actually doing the things that high value dudes do. That's number one. Number two is playing video games. If you're sitting there playing video games and you're worried about how fast you can move your thumbs and how quickly you can level up on the little game and all this BS, you got to understand, these games were made to hook your brain by alphas far smarter than you to reap the rewards of getting rich off of you. Okay, everything that's an add-on, everything that's an upgrade, everything where you just swipe your credit card one more time and buy the next game, not only once again are you wasting your time, but your woman that you're with, or just you in general, your excellence will suffer because of the emotional attachment you have as to finding pleasure in that moment instead of actually making something of yourself in the long run. And I understand it feels good to play. I understand that it feels good to take yourself out of the real world and go into la la land for a little bit. But these things don't serve you. These things are going to eventually rob you. And I know that you're going to come back in this video and you're going to say, oh, but I know this guy and he's famous for video games and you're not him. Like, you're not them. And the small, minute substrata of 0.25% of people who make a living off of that, you're not going to be that. Oh, this video might sound harsh, and this video might have felt harsh, but you have to understand that I'm not fired up about this to make you feel like a piece of crap. I'm fired up about this because I genuinely care. Like, if a dork like me can figure these things out at ages 16, 17, 18 and stick with it for the 8 to 10 years that it took to get here, I know that you can too. You just need to actually want it. You need the mindset shift. Those of you who you want a stable relationship, or you want like a wife one day, or you want these things, like, men have the burden of performance. The second she senses you're lazy, you don't have ambition, you're willing to put your time in other areas that don't serve you or propel the betterment of your own future, is the second that the chick typically loses respect for you. So I'm not saying this to come at you. I'm saying this because if I can excel in life to a spot where most people it takes them by the time they're 40 to 50 years old, and it happened relatively quickly, you can too if you just use a little bit of grit and brain power. You're not competing against very high level people. You're competing against modern people, which is sedated. They're sedated, like they're drunk. As the more they legalize it, the more they're constantly sedated, smoking stuff that slows them down. Like, dude, it's honestly laughable how easy it is to actually win in this world. Now, here's what I can tell you. If you're new to this way of thinking, if you're new to this way of living, if the things that I said in this video today made sense to you, then I advise you to do one thing. Because brand new for 2022, I just reshot the MBT webinar. MBT stands for Masculine Behavioral Techniques. And if you opt into this quick video presentation that I have below, I'm going to take you through a full-on 1-hour presentation where I show you guys who are just like you, seriously, just like you. Some of them were struggling to approach with the right confidence. Some of them were constantly dumped, heartbroken, confused, and cheated on. They used these tactics, okay? They copy pasted them into their life, and they actually got the results with women, with dating, and with who they genuinely wanted to be as a man instantly. And I know that that change and that transformation can happen for you because it happened to me. So with that said, click that opt-in down below, register for that webinar. It's completely free. You're going to have a great time watching it. And not only that, you're going to have a end-to-end transformational shift and journey when I show you the 4 keys that it takes to master this so you can think the exact same way that I do once and for all.